terrible tragedy. But it was not murder. It was an accident. On the night of Vanessa Sullivan's 21st birthday, she went out with two of her friends. They went to a local bar to see her favorite band play. They celebrated her birthday, had a few drinks. And at the end of the night, when it got late, they walked out of the bar, into the parking lot, and got into the car with Miss Dawson in the driver's seat. And when Miss Dawson pulled out of the parking lot, it started to rain. By the time she got to Canyon Road, it started to pour. But Miss Dawson was focused. She was focused on her driving, and she was in control. But Canyon Road was pitch black and unlit, and the rain just kept coming down and pounding on the car. And just as Miss Dawson reached the sharp curve in Canyon Road, she saw a deer ahead of her, and she was forced to make a split-second decision. So she swerved off of the road and onto the shoulder, where she maintained control of the car for 124 feet, fighting with the wheel. And then just as Miss Dawson tried to re-enter the roadway, the car lost traction, spun out from underneath her, and into a tree. Now today, the prosecution has told you that Miss Dawson was reckless. But at the end of today's trial, you're going to find that that's just not the case. Miss Dawson is going to take the stand today, and she's going to tell you that she knew there was a possibility that she could be driving that night. So she drank responsibly, watched her drinking, and knew her limits. And she'll tell you that at the end of the night, she knew she was okay to drive. Now today, you're also going to hear from Miss Dawson's friend and the server at the bar that were with her that night. Now they're going to tell you that they weren't with Miss Dawson the whole night. And they'll tell you that they're not sure what she was doing the whole night, what she was drinking. Now, the prosecution in today's case has the burden of proof. And they must prove to you that Miss Dawson manifested an extreme indifference to human life, and that she disregarded a substantial and unjustifiable risk. Now, in order to do this, they must prove to you that Miss Dawson was intoxicated. They must prove these things to you beyond a reasonable doubt. Now today you're going to hear from an expert in breath alcohol testing. And he's going to provide reasonable doubt that Miss Dawson was intoxicated. He's going to tell you that the breath alcohol test performed on Miss Dawson is inaccurate, and that because of the errors with that test, the results of Miss Dawson's test are probably wrong. Now, Miss Dawson's friend that was with her that night, and an expert in accident reconstruction, are going to tell you all about the dangers and the conditions of the road that night. They're going to tell you how hard it was raining, that it was pouring, and that Canyon Road was poorly lit. Miss Dawson's passenger and her friend is going to tell you just how hard it was to see that night. And our expert in accident reconstruction is going to tell you about all the dangers surrounding Canyon Road. She's going to tell you that the tree that Miss Dawson's car hit was growing 2 feet from the road, and that there wasn't a sufficient guardrail to protect Miss Dawson's car from hitting the tree. Now, members of the jury, at the end of today's trial, after you've heard all of the facts and the evidence, we know that the evidence is going to show you that Miss Dawson never meant to hurt anyone, and that Miss Dawson chose what she believed to be the safest option when she was driving that night. And we know that the evidence is going to show you that Miss Sullivan's death was a terrible and tragic accident. It was not murder.